High above the clouds, where the air's thin and every step feels like a battle, nature doesn't forgive mistakes. Some climbers make it back, others vanished into the void, lost forever in the world's deadliest mountains. These are some of the worst mountaineering disasters. Mountaineering isn't just about reaching the summit, it's a fight for survival. Freezing temperatures and sudden storms can turn a climb into an unpredictable death trap. Even the most skilled climbers have fallen victim to nature's wrath. These disasters serve as haunting reminders of the risks lurking in the mountains. May 10th, 1996 was a testament to just that, as Mount Everest became the stage for one of the deadliest disasters in climbing history. Multiple expeditions, including those led by seasoned climbers Rob Hall and Scott Fischer, attempted to summit. But as the teams ascended, delays piled up. Crowds formed at key points, forcing climbers to wait in the punishing cold. Oxygen supplies dwindled, and precious time kept slipping away. And then, as night fell, things really got out of hand. A violent blizzard rolled in, bringing whiteout conditions and hurricane-force winds. Climbers lost their way, disoriented in the blinding snow. Some collapsed from exhaustion and exposure, unable to move as temperatures plummeted. Rob Hall, stranded near the summit, radioed down but was too weak to descend. His final words to his wife, spoken over a crackling connection, remain one of the most heartbreaking moments in mountaineering history. Scott Fischer, another respected guide, also succumbed to the storm. Others, like Beck Weathers, were left for dead, only to miraculously survive with severe frostbite. In total, 8 climbers perished that night, their bodies now permanently frozen on the slopes of Everest. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the mountaineering world, exposing the dangers of commercialized expeditions and overcrowding on the mountain. It led to numerous changes in how teams approach high-altitude climbs, but even today, Everest remains a deadly challenge. The events of 1996 stand as a grim reminder that the world's tallest peak demands absolute respect, or it'll take everything from those who dare to challenge its summit. Next up, we have an incident from August 2008 when K2, the world's second highest peak, became the site of a devastating tragedy. Known as the Savage Mountain, K2 is notorious for its unpredictable weather and technical challenges. That year, 25 climbers set out to conquer its summit, but only some would return. Unlike other known incidents, the trouble began during their descent, as climbers navigated the treacherous Bottleneck, a narrow ice-laden passage beneath towering seracs. A massive chunk of ice collapsed. The falling debris severed fixed ropes, leaving climbers stranded high above the death zone. Panic became the biggest enemy as the exhausted mountaineers realized their only way down was now impassable. Some slipped and fell thousands of feet to their deaths. Others, weakened by altitude sickness and frostbite, were simply unable to move. Pakistani climber Shaheen Baig turned back early, sensing danger, but his teammates continued upward, unaware of the catastrophe awaiting them. Italian climber Marco Confortola survived, but watched helplessly as others vanished into the abyss. Despite desperate rescue attempts, the mountain claimed 11 lives in total. The events of that night remain a chilling reminder of K2's unforgiving nature. Unlike Everest, where commercial expeditions have grown, K2 remains an untamed force, one that punishes even the most experienced of climbers. The 2008 disaster also reinforced the fact that success on K2 isn't just about reaching the top. Without a safe descent, the summit means nothing. For those who lost their lives, their ambition became their downfall on one of the world's most merciless peaks in the world. While K2's dangers are well known among elite climbers, Everest holds its own deadly risks, not just for those seeking glory, but for the Sherpas who make these ascents possible as well. In 2014, climbers became witnesses to just that before some even began their journey. On April 18, 2014, Mount Everest witnessed its deadliest single-day disaster. Before most climbers reached the mountain's higher slopes, tragedy struck in the notorious Khumbu Icefall, a constantly shifting maze of towering ice blocks and deep crevasses. A team of Sherpas had set out early that morning, securing ropes and ladders for commercial expeditions. They were the backbone of every summit attempt, carrying heavy loads while navigating one of the most dangerous sections of the route. Without warning, a massive ice serac collapsed from above. Thousands of tons of ice crashed down, engulfing the Sherpas in an instant. The avalanche was immense, and those caught beneath had no chance for escape. 16 men lost their lives, buried under the crushing weight of shattered ice. Their teammates, helpless and unable to dig them out, could only watch in horror. This tragedy devastated Nepal's climbing community. Sherpas, who are often overlooked despite their essential role in high-altitude expeditions, were the ones that bore the brunt of Everest dangers. In the wake of the disaster, protests erupted demanding better wages, insurance, and safer working conditions. Many Sherpas refused to climb that season, forcing expeditions to cancel their summit bids. The 2014 avalanche reminded everybody that Everest isn't just a trophy for climbers, it's a workplace for the Sherpa people. While their courage and resilience have made countless summits possible, the risks they face remain immense. That day, Everest claimed the lives of even those who knew it best. Similarly, October of 2014 proved that even routine treks can turn out to be deadly when nature strikes without warning, as Nepal faced one of its deadliest mountaineering disasters due to a powerful blizzard around the Annapurna region. What began as a routine trek along the popular Thorongla Pass quickly turned into a nightmare, leaving over 40 people dead. The sudden storm caught hundreds of climbers and trekkers off guard, many of whom were unprepared for brutal conditions. The snowstorm, triggered by the remnants of a cyclone, unleashed whiteout conditions and freezing temperatures. Visibility dropped to near zero, and those caught on the exposed mountain trails had nowhere to take shelter. Hypothermia set in rapidly, leaving many too weak to continue. Some tried to turn back, but waist-deep snow and howling winds turned every step into a battle for survival. Rescue efforts were launched as soon as the storm cleared, but for many, it was already far too late. Helicopters scoured the slopes, locating bodies buried beneath the thick snow. Survivors told harrowing stories of being trapped in makeshift shelters, fighting exhaustion and frostbite. Even seasoned guides, familiar with the region's unpredictable weather, were caught off guard by the sheer intensity of the storm. The 2014 Annapurna disaster, unlike Everest or K2, didn't involve extreme technical climbs or high-altitude summits. Just a routine trek turned deadly. It underscored the need for better weather forecasting and emergency preparedness, proving that even well-traveled paths can become lethal when the mountains decide to unleash their fury. Halfway across the world, Mount Rainier also proved that even familiar peaks can become death traps when the weather gets out of control. In June of 1991, a group of 11 climbers set out to summit Mount Rainier, one of the most challenging peaks in the United States. Known for its unpredictable weather, the mountain had claimed lives before, but nobody expected the scale of the disaster that was about to unfold. As the team ascended, conditions suddenly deteriorated. A fierce storm rolled in, bringing blinding snow, powerful winds, and freezing temperatures. Visibility dropped to near zero, and the climbers became disoriented. With no clear path down, they were stranded high on the mountain, battling exhaustion in the brutal cold. Rescue teams launched a desperate search once the storm passed, but it was too late. All 11 climbers had succumbed to hypothermia, their bodies found scattered across the icy slopes. All of these tragedies reinforce what Reinhold Messner said: mountains are not fair or unfair, they are just dangerous, and for those who challenge them, the price can be ultimate.